Alright, everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Now, I haven't reviewed Ancient Origins yet, which I thought I did, but I guess I didn't review Ancient Origins yet. So, we're going to review it. Now, unfortunately, there aren't any English scans on PokeBeach like I used for Roaring Skies back in like May. But we can still use, images I saved online from the English scans, and we can show off the set. So we're going to be going through every single card, so let's get into it. Well, not every single card, but every card that I think is going to be playable anyway. So, starting off, we have Lugia EX. So this is, these aren't in any like specific order in terms of being good. It's just randomly in my pictures. It just all got sorted. So anyways, Lugia EX. 170 HP. It's weak to lightning, which isn't very good because Manectric EX and some other stuff can hit it, which we can talk about later, but this thing is pretty much kind of like Mewtwo EX. Arrow Ball does 20 times the amount of energy attached to both Pokemon, so Lugia is going to be splashable in any deck pretty much, because for a DCE you can do Arrow Ball. It's a nice card. Its second attack isn't bad either. It's the same as Donphan's attack. For 4 energies, it does 80 plus 70, so that's obviously 150 damage, or I think 150 or 160. I don't know. The point is it does a lot of damage. So Lugia EX isn't a bad EX. It's probably one of the better EX in the set. So it's nice to see Lugia EX have some light. Next up is Vileplume. This is probably going to be the most interesting card from the set. It's got the ability Imitating Pollen, which is the exact same ability as the Vileplume from Undaunted had. Both players can play item cards. That's pretty big, especially in a format that relies heavily on items like VS Seeker, Rare Candy, tools, all kinds of item cards. Hammers, head ringers. I'm just going off what I know, lasers. So Vileplume is a nice kind of splashable card. It's not as bad as Seismitoad because it blocks both items, so you're not going to have to deal with hammers and stuff. I mean, Team Flare Guns can still be there, but Vileplume is a nice card, and I'm happy to see this card being printed in the set. Certainly welcomed. Next up is Ace Trainer. Now, N is being rotated out, so we kind of need a replacement for N, and Ace Trainer is that kind of card that kind of fills in for that. It's not as good as N, and it's not even close to being N, but basically if you have more prizes left than your opponent, basically if you're losing, then you play this card and your opponent draws 3, you draw 6 cards. Not a bad card. I can definitely see a couple of these being played in a deck. 1 or 2. I wouldn't see any more than 2. Next up is Ampharos. I know you can't see that, so I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit here. Okay, yeah, you really can't see that. Alright, well, whatever. The point is, Ampharos isn't that good of a card. It's really only here for the Mega, which I don't know if it's coming up next. No, we have the Spirit Link. I don't know why that's in here. I must have saved it by accident. Anyways, moving on, we have Ariados. Ariados is a pretty decent card in my opinion. 70 HP isn't that good, but its ability is good. So once in your turn, you may use this ability, and both active Pokemon except for grass Pokemon are poisoned. So this is going to greatly combo with 2 cards from the set, which we will get into in a minute. But Ariados is a good ability. It might be a good laser kind of substitute. Even though Verbank's gone, so that kind of is out of the picture. But nonetheless, that is still a pretty good ability. Next up is Forest, or Broken Vine Space, as I like to call it. Broken Vine Space. Forest of Giant Plants. This card is going to be insanely ridiculous and expanded with Shiftry and Fortress and Super Skill. Oh my god, the nightmare, the horror. Basically, it does the same thing as Broken Time Space, but for grass Pokemon only. So this is a nice card. I don't know how good it will be in Standard, but definitely in Expanded, this card will be incredibly broken. Next up is Claydol. Claydol is actually kind of interesting. So it's Attack Rewind. Basically, de-evolve each of your opponent's evolved Pokemon, put the high stage Pokemon into your opponent's hands. So this could be a nice card. You could, in a nice spread deck like Gourgeist. They have all these evolutions in play. Then you play Claydol, and they have to return all of them, but since they have less HP than the damage they had, they get knocked out. So you can do a lot of crazy stuff with Claydol here. I don't know how good it will be, but definitely something fun to try out. Next up is Dangerous Energy. This is kind of the dark special energy of the set. It's not as good as special dark energy from the old days, but it's still kind of decent. So it's basically Rocky Helmet, but only, wait, hold on. Whenever the dark Pokemon's card, the opponent's X Pokemon is damaged. Oh, never mind. It's only for EXs. So if this card, if a Pokemon EX attacks your dark Pokemon with this energy on it, they take 2 damage. So this card is nice, especially for Mega Tyranitar, Evoltal, Malamar, whatever dark type. So this is a nice card. Definitely good to see this card. It's going to be nice to play with Evoltal decks and stuff like that. Next up is Energy Retrieval. I'm not too impressed with this gold card. I really hope for like a Professor's Letter shiny, or a Battle Compressor shiny, or Muscle Band shiny, or Super Scoop Up shiny. I don't know how relevant this will be. Primal Kyogre might like it. Maybe Mega Sceptile like it, but other than that, it's just not gonna. It's probably gonna be as much as Energy Retrieval, if not less. Next up is Eco Arm. Shuffle 3 tool cards from your discard pile into your deck. This will be used with Mega Tyranitar, but this is also nice because you can get back your Head Ringers. And this is big. Getting back your Head Ringers is a big deal in my opinion. So Eco Arm might be a good card to play with in decks that rely on Head Ringers and stuff like that. So a nice card. It's pretty good. Next, oh wow, holy. I don't know how big that'll be, but it doesn't even fit into the whole recording thing. But yes, we have this. This card is horrible, by the way. It's only here for its aesthetics. Unfortunately, its ability is not the same as the other Mega Ray, where you can play it the turn you evolved it. This will not see any play at all. I mean, maybe someone will play it just because it looks cool, but it just doesn't work. I mean, it looks nice, but it just doesn't work. So, I mean, nice card, but doesn't work. Next up is Entei. I actually think this might be a pretty good card. It's a good counter to Sceptile because basically it does 20 times the amount, 20 more damage. It does 20. So it's already doing 20 damage. So it can do 20. It can do a maximum of 120. But if they play Skyfield, then this card can really let loose. This card can do 180 damage if your opponent is against Skyfield. So this might be a good card to counter those Skyfield decks, like, I don't know, Mega Ray, Raichu, Sceptile, all kinds of decks. So I think this is going to be a nice card, in my opinion. It's pretty good, in my opinion. So next up is another Entei, which isn't good, but its attack flame screen could be fun because you can put 2 tools on it, so you can play 2 hard charms on it. And then you can basically reduce damage by 90 under this Entei, which is pretty funny. I don't think this card will be playable, but it'll be a fun deck. Definitely something I'm going to have to try out if I can even pull Enteis when I do my pack opening tomorrow, which I'm excited for. Next up is Faded Town, a really good stadium card. Basically, at any time between turns, put 2 damage counters on each Mega Pokemon that is in play. So this can hurt you, but hurts your opponent also. Decks that don't run Mega Evolutions and don't really know what stadium to play, well, here you go. Faded Town, great stadium card. Next up is Flareon. This is where the goodness comes in. This is one of the best cards, if not one of the best card in the set. That made no sense, but this is one of the best cards in the set. And, well, this and 2 other cards that is pretty much the same thing. So, each of your Stage 1 Pokemon is now a Fire-type Pokemon, in addition to its existing types. I don't know if this also applies to weakness, but this means your Stage 1 Pokemon like Raichu and Vespiquen are automatically Fire types, which means they can hit Sceptile EX for weakness. So that's why this Flareon is going to be a great card for those Stage 1 decks. Next up is Flash Energy, a nice card to play with Mega Manectric. Mega Manectric suffers from being weak to fighting types like Landorus EX and especially Lucario EX come rotation. So this is a good card for those kind of decks. It gives your Mega Man the ability to not be, have a weakness. So those, fighting decks aren't going to be as big as a problem. So I'm actually glad this is made. It's a pretty good card, and I think this will be played a lot with Mega Manectric. Next up is Gardevoir. This is an interesting card. So it's kind of like a dumbed down version of Superior, but a little bit better because you can colorlessly attack it. So Gardevoir has the ability Bright Heal. This could be a fun idea to play with maybe Seismitoad, God forbid, Mega Manectric. I mean, anything's possible with this nice ability. So I think Gardevoir is a pretty good card. I mean, you can get 2 in play, you can heal 40 a turn, which is pretty powerful. I mean, you could play, Mega Man with this, and with Rough Seas, you can heal like 70 a turn, which is pretty good. So, a nice card. Next up is Gyarados. This is a card I think might actually be a fun idea. Not too competitive, but not too, horrible. Its attack, full retaliation, does 30 plus 30 more damage for each damage counter on each of your bench Magikarp. This will be great with the Team Magma Secret Base, Rainbow Energy, Doug Trio. I don't know. There's all kinds of bench hitters. This could be a fun idea. I don't think this is going to be a competitive deck, but it could still be fun. You can play 2 tools on it, which might actually be good, so who knows. Next up is Golurk. Nothing too, Golurk, what am I saying? Golurk is actually a really good card. I think this could actually be a pretty competitive card in my opinion. Maybe, though. So this card is a Psychic and Fighting type, which is really good. So, while it's a Psychic Fighting type, you can play Strong Energy, Muscle Band, Silver Bangle, Fighting Stadium, Machamp. And you can Superpower for a knockout, and that's why I think Golurk might have a chance to be a fun idea. Not too competitive, but not too terrible. So Golurk is a nice card, and definitely might see play. Who knows? It's fun, and it can work well because of that dual typing you can get, which is really good. Next up is Hexmaniac. This card I feel like is extremely overhyped. It shuts off both players' abilities. This is really all I can see is used for is to get out of a Vileplume item lock for 1 turn, and to hit an Aegislash or Safeguarder. That's all I can see this card being used for. Other than that, I don't think this card is too competitive. It's a supporter for the turn. It's kind of weak, and I just don't see this card. I don't know. It's interesting, but maybe one in every deck, but I doubt it. Okay, now I'm just gonna skip that because I couldn't find a good quality image for the full art Hoopa. Hoopa EX, the kind of star of the deck, the set. Hoopa has this ability, Scoundrel Ring. When you place Pokemon from your hand down to your bench, you may search your deck for 3 Pokemon EX. That's really all this is going to be used for. Its attack is completely abysmal. But that ability is going to be so powerful with Mega Rayquaza. I mean, Mega Rayquaza is going to be extremely deadly now with Hoopa. It's basically like your Winona for those Mega Ray decks, except without the supporter for the turn. You can play this multiple times. Hoopa could be good with Mega Ray. Other than that, I don't think this can be played with much else. Maybe with, Mega Man. I mean, this card is pretty much a nice search card, so who knows? It's definitely an interesting card, but you never know. Next up is Jolteon. Holy crap, that's really zoomed in, but yeah, the basic formula of this Jolteon is for its ability, Electric Effect. It gives your Pokemon electric types, meaning it can hit Lugias, Mega Rays, and Yveltal EXs. Plus, its Thunder Blast attack with a Muscle Band can take out those things. So, Jolteon, another really nice card to play. And, yeah, next we got Kyurem. I couldn't find the reg art in English, so I have to go with the full art. Basically, Glaciate does the same thing as Glaciate Kyurem from Noble Victories. So, obviously, this card won't see much play. Definitely is like a rogue deck with Blastoise and Dusknoir. Ice Caliber for 4 does 130, and then discard an energy attached to it, and then if any Pokemon can attack, a very weak attack, but its first attack, like I said, it's fun, but it's not going to be competitive. Next up is Lucky Helmet. So, whenever this card is, when this Pokemon, is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if they're knocked out, you draw 2 cards. So, like I said, a nice draw card. I mean, a nice thing this could be used with is definitely Wobbuffet, right? Wobbuffet decks that, it's like, oh, I'll just put out Wobbuffet, hey, damage me all you want. I'm just a punching bag to set up a big attacker. Well, I'm doing that. I'm going to take draw 2 cards every time. Definitely a cool card. I could see this card being played. It's an interesting card and it could save your butt sometimes from, getting a bad hand. Next up is Lugia. Oh, wait, we already went over that. Look at how, this might be the best full art in the whole set. Just look at how nice and vibrant this, so sexy. Next up is Trainer's Mail, Shiny. Kind of disappointed. I don't think this will go for much, to be honest. We all know what Trainer's Mail does. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck, choose a trainer card you find there. The Shiny version might be good, but it's definitely going to probably be the same amount as a VS Seeker, if not less. Next is Mega Sceptile, the second big Mega of the set. Mega Sceptile is very good. It has an ability where it prevents all effects of abilities, so even if you have special energy on it, those Aegislashes can't damage you. Or you can damage an Aegislash, sorry. My really asleep here. Plus, this can hit Safeguarders. So, Jagged Saber is really good with Professor's Letter and Energy Retrieval and whatnot. So, it does 100 damage for 2. And then it says you may attach up to 2 grass energies from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon in any way you like. Oh, to your bench Pokemon any way you like. If you attach the Pokemon, heal all damage from that. Heal all damage. You know what that means? Those things, like, oh, just think about it. You have a Mega Sceptile on the bench that's like 190 damage. It's about to be knocked out. You play a switch or you retreat. You play Energy Retrieval. You attack with a fresh new Sceptile. Bam, there goes all that damage you just did. Like I said, this is one of the best just megas we've ever had. It's really good. And then there's the full art is so good. Just look at how nice this full art looks. And next up we have Metagross. I couldn't find a really good image for this. Basically, this is going to be great for really any deck. Now, there's rumors that Floatstone is getting reprinted, and if that is the case, thank God Floatstone is being reprinted. That card is the Lord and Savior. I love Floatstone. I hope it gets remembered. But anyways, basically its ability is, well, it's a built-in escape rope. So that's definitely going to be good with Bronzong without Floatstone. Its attack Iron Cannon is also going to be good with Bronzong. I mean, you can slowly build this up as like a late-game attacker. You never know. Iron Cannon can take some knockouts sometimes. Next up is Mega Tyranitar. Oh, look at this full art. Oh, it's so sexy. This is one of the best megas in the... It's probably one of the best attackers in the game. Now, in Expanded, this card is extremely broken with Dark Patch and Mega Turbo and Battle Compressor. Its attack, Destroyer King. Okay, I need to unzoom that. You guys probably can't see that. Actually, we're just going to skip this because I actually have a regular art. Next up is Magikarp, one of the best cards in the game. Epic Splash is a really, really good attack. And without a doubt, it will see play. And actually, I got to do something here. I just got to exit out of my malware device. But very good card. Epic Splash. Epic Splash. Epic. It's an Epic Splash. No, I just put this in here because it's Magikarp and its attack's name is Epic Splash. Next is Paint Roller. Discard any stadium and play draw a card. Great way to counter Skyfield. Great way to get around Ninetales. Just a really good card in my opinion. It's definitely going to see play in almost any deck, to be honest. Next is Porygon Z. I know you can't really see what it is because it's in Japanese and it's really zoomed in. It's a second attack. Basically does 70, and then your opponent has to play an extra colors to retreat or to attack. So stuff like Headringers, Crushing Hammers, Crawdunts, they will all be used for this. So who knows? It might actually work. Next, this is Ancient Trait Primal Groudon. Just not as good as the other one because the other Primal Groudon had that awesome ability. This one just isn't good. So just collectors. Primal Kyogre, same story, doesn't have that ability Primal Kyogre has that makes it special. Just something to sit in your binder and go, ooh, look at this, I have a shiny card that's unplayable. Next is Regice. This thing is literally Hippowdon's brother from another mother. You already know how much I love Hippowdon. Hippowdon is pretty much the Morgan Freeman of Pokemon. Regice is really good. 3 energies, it does 70 damage, and then during your next turn, prevent all effects, including damage on this Pokemon by your opponent's EXs. Same thing as Hippowdon, does more damage. It's a water type, so it has other, things it can hit. I love, this is a really good card in my opinion. I think this Regice will definitely be an interesting idea for like a deck, so definitely keep an eye out for a deck video on that. Next is Regirock, another really good card. Unyielding Rock with Strong Energy, Muscle Band, Fight Team, Silver Bangle can actually knock out EXs, but mostly this will be an obvious counter to Mega Tyranitar. So yeah, that's pretty much what this card is for. It's just you can take big knockouts with this card, and it is a good counter to Mega Tyranitar. So that's really all I can see this card being used for. Next is Registeel, another interesting card to play with your big bad Bronzong decks. Does 70 for 3, and then if your opponent's having Poke with an EX, discard an energy. This, I think, we'll see play in Bronzong as a way to counter, Toad, or really any deck that, relies heavily on special energy, especially Raichu decks. So, like I said, another nice card. Next is Relicanth. You may be asking yourself, why is the Reli Boys on here? Well, the Reli Boys are here because Deep Sea Search is a pretty interesting attack. Especially with Mega Tyranitar and that Entei deck I talked about. You can just get those tool cards right away. Instead of playing that Elisa card, you can just attack with Relicanth. grab those 2 cards and put them in your hand. Obviously, they can end you or ace trainer you in some situations, but like I said, it's still not a bad card. I mean, it'd be nice to see Relicanth like actually be played. Next is Sableye. This card is really good for dark decks, or really any deck that you want to splash in a couple, dark energies. Bewitching Eyes. Choose a support card from your opponent's discard pile and use the effect of the attack. 2 support as a turn. Amazing, just really just powerful card, and definitely is going to see play. Energy Recycler, pretty much Sacred Ash 2.0. Shuffle 5 basic energies. I don't know how relevant this will be, especially with Energy Switch and Superior Energy Retrieval in the format. But you never know. Down the road, this card might be good. I don't know. It might be. Next up is Giratina EX, or in my opinion, Satan EX. I'm actually going to skip the full art because you can't really see it. Next up is Sceptile EX. This is probably the best non-EX Pokemon in the set, or non-Mega EX Pokemon in the set. Unseen Claw is very good. If your opponent's active Pokemon special by special condition, it does 130 damage, which is a lot of it. It does 10 more than the Mega. It does more than the Manectric EX. But with Ariados and Hypnotoxic Laser, you can do 130. Yeah, just an outstanding card. Amazing. One of the best cards. I just love this card. I think it's going to be so good. Next is Full Art Steven. I've already talked about Steven, I think, before. It's a decent card. I actually think it's a little underrated. It's not, like, too good, but it's not too bad either. And the full art looks really nice. Hopefully we get full arts of Sycamore, Shauna, Blacksmith, Hex Maniac, Ace Trainer. Next is Mega T-Tarsu. I already talked about this. Destroyer King. Actually, no, I didn't. Destroyer King does 110 plus 60 more damage for each damage carrying your opponent's active Pokemon. Obviously, this is going to be used with Golbats and, that dark energy, that dangerous energy, Fortress. Like I said, just a really, really powerful card, and it's just awesome to see Mega T-Tar. And plus, that Find Weakness can be irrelevant with that powerful Ace ability that allows you to put you just put Weakness Policy and Hard Charm on it. T-Tar Full Art. Now, Tyranitar EX is a terrible card. Like, the base version, it sucks. But the full art is so... I just love that roguish red-black. It looked like... You already know, like, my guy on my YouTube, like, it's Carnage, right? I love the color. Black and red is probably my 2 favorite combination of colors. And it looks so sexy on Tyrant. Like, just... This full art is so... It's the best full art in the set. You know what? It's the best full art Pokemon hands down. It's so good. It's sexy. I just love the red velvet with like the destruction, Carnage's card break. Oh, okay. I'm gonna stop orgasming over this. Anyways, next up is Unknown. Another really good card for decks like Flareon and Vespiquen and even Night March. So once you're in turn before you attack, if this is on your bench, discard it and draw a card. Pretty simple. It's not too complex. It's not too good, but it's good with Vespiquen because it gets a Pokemon in your discard pile while giving you a benefit. So, a nice card. You can tech 1 or 2 in your decks. I don't know if you should because it's only 1 card, but still, nice card. Anyways. Next up is Vaporeon. We already know what this is. It just gives your Stage 1's water types. I could not find an English scan, by the way. So, next is Vespiquen, Jethro Styles' favorite card. Vespiquen is going to be probably one of the best cards from the set. Be Revenge, it's pretty much the exact replication of Flareon. Where you're like, well, why not just run Flareon over Vespiquen? It has more HP, yes, but this thing has a good typing, and it can be searched out with a level ball, so that's why Vespiquen is good. And it's free retreat. Ugh, level ball searches out. Yeah, just one of the best cards in the set, hands down. Next is this Virizion. I don't know if you can see that well, but this card is interesting. I don't think it's that good, but it's a nice little late gamer for like grass decks, like Sceptile. It does 120 damage if you are losing in prize cards. So nice card. You never know when you could use this card. I don't think it's that good, but you never know. Next is Whimsicott. This might be the only reason why Wailord might still survive, unfortunately. So it says move all damage counters from one of your bench Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. This is going to be the way you can take prizes with Wailord. This might actually be annoying. However, obviously with Sceptile and Vespiquen. I don't think Wailord has a chance, but this might give Wailord some kind of a chance, but I doubt it. Next is Lugia EX. Oh wait, that's the end of the review. Oh my god, I'm a retard. Anyways, that was the set. That was my set review. Those were all the cards I think are going to be playable, and that was a huge fail. I can't believe I said that Lugia EX thing was actually really embarrassing. Actually, wait a minute. I just realized something. Where's the Giratina EX? Didn't I save an image of like the full art? Swear I did. Okay, I guess I don't have a regular art Giratina picture. Yep, I don't see one. Okay, well, whatever. We'll talk about Giratina really quickly. Basically, this card has a very powerful ability, very powerful attack. Chaos Wheel does, double dragon, double colorless. You get the point. Does 100. Your opponent can't play any tools, stadiums, or special energy cards. That just blows my mind that attack is that strong. And its ability is even better because it makes it so that Mega Evolutions can't damage this card. Holy crap, Giratina is a very good card. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Ancient Origins drops tomorrow, and it is 8:40 right now in my Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, the 11th of August. Tomorrow, my friends, is when Ancient Origins will come out. Can't wait. It's going to be an awesome set. I've already kind of stocked up on, what I'm going to do. I didn't buy any codes. Saved up a crap load of tokens. And I'm probably going to be trading some, my cards away for other stuff from the set. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a pack opening on Ancient Origins. Be hyped for that.